new house in Austin, Texas. We've been living here for about a month and a half now, so we're very much still moving in, but I want to give you a little tour anyway. This is going to be a very realistic tour of what a house looks like after about a month and a half of living here. And I want to show you where I'm putting all of my houseplants and give you an update on how they're doing after the move. So I was just standing in the entryway, and this is kind of how we're organizing our shoes for the time being, at least until we come up with something better. I just have my goldfish plant sitting right here. It's doing fairly well. I think it would probably like a space with a bit more light, but it's doing pretty well. Just behind the entryway is our dining room, which I think is one of the most cozy spaces, and this is one of the top spaces that I'm really inspired by. I really want to paint the ceiling in here and do something super crazy, so let me know if you have any fun ideas. And I only have a couple plants in this room. On our dining room table, I have my Monstera standalliana aurea, which seems to be doing pretty well in this spot. I think eventually I'd like to get it on a moss pole though. I also found this crane in an antique store the first week that we moved here, and I'm pretty freaking excited about it. It's very cute. Over on this side of the room, we have a cozy little bookshelf, which by the way, we moved with movers for this move, and they put everything back together. And this has a drawer on the bottom. Oh, you can't even see it. They put this drawer together completely improperly. Like the top, it was completely upside down, so we had to fix that. That was really annoying. But anyway, I have my Jose Bono philodendron right here. It's been giving me very variegated leaves since moving, so I am pretty excited about that. And behind the dining room is the kitchen, which this is truly my dream kitchen. I can't believe that I live here, that I get to cook in this kitchen. There is so much space, especially in comparison to the kitchen in our last home. One thing about houses in Texas is that it's pretty normal for people to take their fridge, washer, and dryer with them, whereas in Iowa, everyone leaves their appliances with the house for the most part. And so when we moved in, we didn't have a fridge, we didn't have a washer, we didn't have a dryer. Washer and dryer you can kind of live without, but it's really difficult to live without a fridge if you want to have leftovers or cook at all. And so we were able to find this fridge actually at a discount store and get it delivered super quickly. And we got to choose the panel colors, and I'm so excited to have a blue fridge. I've always wanted a fun colored fridge, and it has this door with a picture. How fancy is that? The lighting in this house is also just freaking fantastic. I just popped on overhead lights, and for cooking, you really want bright light, and it's so bright in here now. So hopefully the lighting is good for you guys. It's looking good. But I have quite a few plants in the kitchen actually. I keep my Hoya Hushkliana variegata on the kitchen windowsill, along with my variegated Thanksgiving cactus. And then over here, I have some daisies that my husband gifted me that I need to plant in the ground outside. I have my Caladium lindenii, and then on this shelf, I have a Dracaena Janet Craig, and then way up there on the left is an Anthurium that's not doing too hot. It's Anthurium fingers. And now we're in the living room, which is basically one big room with the kitchen. This is a good time to point out that if you haven't watched my house hunting video that I posted just before this, definitely check that out if you want to see what this house looked like empty before we purchased it. Our living room is still very much a work in progress. We left a lot of furniture in Iowa or gave it away. And also this house is bigger than our house in Iowa, and so we're really kind of low on furniture. But I'll give you an idea of what it looks like. One of the big purchases we made when we moved in was a new TV. We got a Samsung frame TV, which I feel like I see people all over YouTube with, and I just realized that it's not even on, so I had to put some art up there. It's a super cool TV because it's matte, and so when you put art on the TV, it actually looks like art. We have big plans to hang it on the wall, hence all of the painter's tape behind there, but we haven't gotten around to it yet. We had never purchased a new TV ever at our old house. We used a TV that I used in college, and then just a TV from a family member that no longer needed it. So we're excited to have a really nice TV in our house, and it's huge, much bigger than what I'm used to. But the other big thing about this room is that obviously we have dining room chairs sitting here. We're trying to decide between two sets of chairs, so I'll put them on the screen and maybe you can help me decide. They're just from Wayfair or All Modern, which is owned by Wayfair, but we're deciding whether we want to get purple ones or yellow ones. And I think yellow ones are more typically what someone might get, but the purple ones are kind of fun and we just can't decide. So let me know what you think. We also want to get bar stools at some point. We could fit so many bar stools at our kitchen countertop. It's kind of wild, but I can't decide which ones I want. I think that we're gonna put wood paneling on the back of the peninsula here to kind of bring in more wood tones and kind of a 70s vibe, which means that I probably wouldn't want wooden bar stools, but let me know what you think on that as well. The only plant that we have in the living room is my variegated peace lily, which is hanging out right here. We actually don't get a lot of sun in our living room. You can't really tell right now because the lights are so bright, but this is just a lower light plant, and so I think it's been doing pretty well, no complaints here. Now we're in my sunroom, which is extremely bright. It gets so much sun. I need to figure out some way to hang curtains or something just so that it's usable during the day. I love the sunlight. I do not wish the sunlight to go away because it's gonna be so great for really high light plants. But this is a room I want to spend so much time in, and for that to be possible, I need to have some way to block some of it so I can use my computer in here, read a book without squinting my eyes, things like that. But I have a lot of houseplants in here, so let me show you what they're looking like. So kicking us off right here, I have my avocado tree, which a lot of you recommended that I not have it potted directly in the terracotta, but I really like to have my plants potted directly in their pots. And this has been drying out quite a bit. We do have some fresh new leaves, but I have lost quite a few new leaves since I moved to this house. So I think I'm going to switch it into a different pot and probably put my Bambino fiddly fig in this terracotta pot instead, which that plant is over here because it previously had spider mites. I think that we are in the clear now. I also have all of my pots just on the floor in here because I need to do a lot of repotting and I just haven't had time. So this is real life. This is what it's looking like. I recently moved this Aglaonema pictum tricolor in here because I just felt like it needed to be on the ground because it's such a cute plant and you can just see it so much better from standing above it versus if it was sitting on a surface. And it's really just kind of a smattering of plants in here. This is probably where my plants can get the best conditions, and so it's just a really easy place to put a lot of them, and everything in here is doing really well. It is not air conditioned or heated in this room, and so it does get a little bit roasty toasty. I have a temperature and humidity reader that I keep in here just to keep an eye on things. It currently feels like 83 degrees in here, and guys, it's November. It is the end of November, and it's this hot in Texas. I'm super not used to this. I went for a run yesterday in a tank top and shorts in November. Like, it snowed in Iowa last week. But anyway, the hottest it's ever been in this room is 109 degrees. And I didn't put any plants in this room until it got a little cooler. So they've probably only been in here a few weeks. But yeah, I'll be curious to see how cold it gets in the winter. Right now, the lowest it says it's been is 64 degrees, which would have been probably overnight temps. So I'll just keep an eye on this. And if I feel like it's getting too cold, I will probably move my plants out of here, but we'll just have to see. Ooh, here's another angle of the room. These windows are just so beautiful. The light, oh my gosh. I have been shopping like crazy on Facebook Marketplace since moving here, and this was one of my most exciting purchases. It is a Papasan chair. I still need to buy the cushion, but I think I'm going to put it in that corner. Can you see my finger? There we go. And so I'm waiting to see what color living room chairs we get before I buy the cushion color, since you'll see the Papasan chair as you like look through the French doors into the sunroom. I really want a purple one, but if we get purple chairs, I probably won't do a purple cushion. I'd probably do more of like a rust color, so we'll see. I also have my vintage rocking chair in here, which I think is going to stay. And then I'm hoping to get some kind of table or desk in here so that I can journal and maybe work in here if I want to, edit YouTube videos. I just want to spend all my time in this room. So I've been looking on Facebook Marketplace for something that I can use. I'll put in a picture of what I'm thinking about doing. And then I think I want to do a big plant shelf on this back wall. It gets really fantastic bright indirect light, and so I could put a lot of philodendron back here, like really pretty much anything. And then eventually I'll probably move all of my succulents and cacti to where they're directly in the window, but for now they're getting really bright indirect light from back on this wall as well. We have one really long hallway that takes you into the rest of the house, really long. And this is another area of the house that I'm really inspired by. I want to paint the entire thing one color, possibly ceiling, walls, doors, trim, everything, and then do some kind of gallery wall, but gallery hallway, and fill pretty much every square inch with art. I know that's really bold and I don't know how it'll look, but I just really want to have fun in this house, and that sounds really fun to me. And now we're in my office. So if you watched my last video, then you've already seen me film standing in front or sitting in front of my IKEA greenhouse cabinet. But now maybe you have a better idea on what the room looks like, I suppose. All of the plants in here are doing super, super well. I don't really have anything to say about any of the greenhouse cabinet plants. They're just all looking great. My Monstera Thai Constellation just put out this leaf, so it's our first Texas leaf. And my Philodendron Gloriosum also just put out a Texas leaf facing towards the grow light, which makes complete sense. This is what the other side of the room looks like. Eventually, I want to have 2 desks in here like I did in my other office, so I can have, this would be my work desk, and then I can have like a big crafting and fun desk. I do still have boxes over there, but let me show you my new curtains. I'm seriously so excited about these. I've never bought like super nice curtains. All of mine are from like usually Amazon or Wayfair or Target, which I do think are plenty nice, but I wanted to do something fun in this room. And so after looking online for a long time, I ended up landing on these, which are from Crate and Barrel. They're 100% cotton and they feel like a blanket. Like I just want to curl up in these curtains and lay down in them. And they are so cute because they're bows. So you tie the top of them like this, and then you can have little bows at the top of your curtain rod. And yes, I did find these in the Crate and Barrel kids section. Absolutely. I think they're really meant for nurseries, but it's going in my office. And I want to paint this room. I have my rug, which has a lot of purple tones in it. This has blue and some pinks. I just can't decide what colors I want to paint this room. I kind of want to paint it the same green as my office in my last house, but that room was a sunroom and it was just much brighter. Like this room is not bright. And so I think that it would end up feeling really dark, which could be a mood or it could be depressing. And I'm just not sure, but I am really excited to hang these curtains up. The rod is supposed to come in today, so maybe we'll get it hung today, maybe not, but I'm just so freaking excited about these curtains. Over in this corner, I have something new. I got a Sansi grow light. They sent this to me, and this one clips on the back of your pot. Can you even see where that is? My plant is growing too well, but it just clips on the back there and kind of acts as a halo above it. And I just love how it looks like a spotlight. Look at the light on this new leaf. And my Anthurium Silver Blush is just loving it. It is doing so well. It is both flowering and putting out a new leaf. And you can set a timer on it. So mine's set to run from 7 to 7 for 12 hours a day. And I just love it. I could have these all over my house and they're super cheap. So I actually might purchase one for myself in the future. But if you're interested, Sansi gave me a code for a little money off on their website. And I'll also put the Amazon link in the description down below because, you know, ordering from Amazon is just, I think, easier a lot of times. But yeah, I'm super happy with it. I did heatless curls on my hair and it's looking a little crazy. Sometimes it turns out, sometimes it doesn't. All right, so the big thing I did when moving was that I took a lot of cuttings of plants and just made sphagnum moss prop box bins. And so I think I deserve to give you a little update on how they're doing because at this point, these have been in these bins for months. So spoiler, they're looking really good, but it's been quite some time. Let's give you an update. So here's box number 1. This has some Monstera, Hoya, philodendrons, and they're looking so fresh and healthy. I really want to get these potted up, hopefully in December. So keep an eye out for some kind of video of me dealing with these if you guys are interested in seeing that. Here's another box. I don't open these very often, but I have kind of peeked in a couple of times and I've only noticed one dead plant, which I'm pretty sure was my Hoya australis Lisa, but it didn't look that hard. And I also took 2 cuttings at least of pretty much every plant. So it's totally fine if one of them passes away because I have a backup. Here is the last bin. I think this is the one that I accidentally knocked over. I'm pretty sure it is, but they're still looking really quite good. I am really happy that my Philodendron Splendid, they're still kicking because that's one of my favorite plants. I had these sitting in a northern window, so they weren't getting a ton of light, and now they're sitting near my IKEA greenhouse cabinet and my Sansi grow light, so they're still really not getting very much light at all, and they're doing really well, but I do need to get them potted up. We need to get moving, so again, keep an eye out for that video soon. We're now in our first bathroom. I really haven't done too much to the space. I don't really feel like I've needed to, but I did add a really fun shower curtain because the walls in this house are so white. It is just really giving me the opportunity to have a lot of fun with it. This bathroom has doors that lead into our laundry room, which is so nice. So if we have guests over, I can shut this and they don't see all the laundry, but the laundry room is so beautiful, I don't even really feel like I need to hide it. I'm in the laundry room now, so it's a little bit backlit, but I get really great light in here, which, number one, love having natural light in a bathroom laundry room just for personal reasons. It's beautiful. I love seeing the sunlight. But also, number two, it means I can have plants in here. So I actually just moved my Maranta Silver Band in here. It hasn't been doing super hot for me for a while. It just always has dead leaves. I don't know what that's about. I feel like this always happens to me with Marantas. Look at that. Look at all those dead leaves. So I don't know. Let me know if you've had this issue with Marantas before, what the problem is, because it doesn't look like there's spider mites or anything like that. I don't know if it just needs repotted. There's a new leaf coming in. So I don't know. I don't get it. I don't like dealing with all the dead leaves. Maybe I just need to water it more. Not sure, but let me know if you've ran into this issue before. I'm also air drying a couple things up here, so ignore that. This is real life. But I've been keeping my ponytail palm in here, but I really think that my ponytail palm is just ripe for going in the sunroom. I want a huge, like 10-foot tall ponytail palm, which will take my entire life. But in order to get that, it might take more than my life. I don't know. They do grow that tall. Regardless, I need to be giving it optimal conditions if I want that. So that's probably going to get moved eventually. But right now, it keeps me company while I fold laundry. And sitting in this window, I have one of my Christmas cacti. For Thanksgiving, I always say Christmas, but mean Thanksgiving. But it's doing quite well. It's so backlit. This is one of my favorite pots. I love the way that the terracotta has this patina on it. And then my variegated string of pearls is just absolutely loving life in here. She loves Texas. Next room. So skipping my husband's office because he's literally in there, we have our guest room, which my cousin Ava actually did stay here. And so she slept on an air mattress. Props to her. She wanted to come here that badly. We absolutely need to get a mattress for this room eventually. But yeah, we basically have nothing for this room. So eventually we even have sheets over the windows as curtains, but eventually we'll build this room out a bit more. There's Poplar, wondering what I'm doing. And here we have the primary bedroom. Poplar's here again. We're actually driving up to Iowa for Thanksgiving tomorrow, so ignore the suitcases that are on the floor. But this is another room that is kind of on my top priority list, along with the dining room, the hallway, to paint. It's just, the walls are so white and they're so tall. I think that paint would go a really, really long way in here. But what absolutely did go a long way were these curtains. I'm saying curtains so weirdly, but they just add so much, I don't know, life to the space. Like curtains generally, or any sort of window treatment, I just really think make your house feel more like home. I don't know. Once these were put up, I was like, oh, it's home now. This is home. I had to wait for the curtains. But yeah, these are just blackout curtains from Amazon, but I really, really like them. Almost all of the furniture in this space are pieces that we brought from Iowa, including this cute chair. I have my Anthurium clarinervium and my variegated fiddly fig sitting over here. and they seem to be enjoying it. And on my bedside table, I have an African violet and then my Pilea peperomioides. One piece that is new to us is this beautiful dresser that we got on Facebook Marketplace. I'm so excited about this. For this house, stylistically, I'm really just going for what are the pieces that I love and bringing those into this house. We have a lot of mid-century modern pieces, but I do think that this will look really beautiful next to mid-century modern pieces. And oh my gosh, look at the inside of the drawers. It was refinished so well. It's gorgeous. Now we're in my bathroom, and bathrooms are very hard to film, so hopefully the B-roll footage is doing enough for you. But I have 3 plants in here and they are all doing super well. This is seriously the best that my rattlesnake calathea has looked in a very long time. It hasn't had a fresh repot in like 3 years, I think, maybe 2. So I think I need to just give it some fresh soil. So that's on the list of things to do, but it's really liking the light and the humidity in here, I think. I also have my String of Hearts Silver Glory in here, which this is feeling like it needs to be watered. So I'll probably water it after this, especially we're about to leave town, but it has been flowering. It was flowering a lot even before we moved, but it was in my greenhouse cabinet then, and now it's just out and about, and it's still flowering and growing like crazy. And this is a super exciting update. I also have my mini Phalaenopsis orchid, I think. Yeah, it's definitely a mini one. I don't know which mini one, I have 2, but it's about to bloom. So hopefully it waits to put out these blooms until I'm back. I think it probably will, but I'm pretty excited about that. It's really liking the bathroom. So that's the main part of the house, but let me take you outside and give you a little update on what our yard is looking like and take you to the tiny house because I need your suggestions on what we should do with it. Here we are in the backyard. It is still an absolute dream. It's gorgeous. I love it so much. I need to spend more time outside. I need to spend more time out here. But let's go on a little adventure up to the tiny house. We have these stepping stone kind of things, like a little pathway. And I knew when we bought the house that these were going to get so many weeds between them. And sure enough, even though it's November, we are absolutely getting a lot of weeds. So I don't know if I'm just gonna spend a ton of time pulling weeds or if I would use a pesticide or something. I'm curious what you all would do if you had a pathway like that. But anyway, we're up at the tiny house, which is really not so tiny. It's honestly huge to me anyway. So this is our tiny house. I really love it out here. It is so peaceful and quiet, and the light that shines in is absolutely gorgeous, but we just really aren't sure what we want to do in this space. Every time I come out here, I'm like, oh my gosh, I want to spend so much time here, but all we have in here right now is a couch. It's the couch that used to be in our TV room in our last house, and we're kind of thinking that we could do a library out here, and I think that that would be a really fun way to use this space. So if we did a library, we would probably, I think, do like IKEA Billy bookcases because it would be very cost effective for sure. But obviously what would be really fun is like floor to ceiling bookshelves to really show off how lofted the ceilings are in here. But realistically, I just don't know if we would do that or not. Like that seems like, I don't know, like a lot to put into a space when we're not sure how much we're going to really realistically use it, because Brian and I both have offices in, you know, the main part of the house. So we've also considered turning this into a gym, which I do think this would be a really awesome gym space. And now that I'm saying it, I'm like, ooh, maybe we should do that, but we could do like a combo library gym. I don't know, let me know what you would do. I really like going to the gym as an activity, and so I don't really know how much I would use a home gym, but it's really beautiful out here. So I could see myself really looking forward to coming out here and working out, and it's kind of nice that it's separate from the house, so it is kind of like an activity to go to the gym versus just like popping one room over. I don't know if that makes any sense. But yeah, this is what this room looks like. It's such a blessing to have this extra space. And I know that we're gonna find a great use for it. It's just, we're not sure what that is yet. Oop, it's windy. And that's our Texas house. Thank you so much for following along with this video. We really love it here, and it's already starting to feel more and more like home as every day goes on. And it's just been a really great place to live so far, which we are really happy about, considering when we put an offer on this house, it was literally our first time ever being in Austin. So it's not like we really knew what we were doing. I'll catch you guys in the next one.